Hi everyone, Letty here, Party Planner Papery. I have another hashtag Paper Stash Smash project share video. I'm going to be using 3 of Bitty Penny's 6x8 paper pads.
Welcome back everyone. So I am participating in hashtag Paper Stash Smash. It's a crafty collab where we use up our stash. Every month we have a different prompt and we try to use down our paper. The goal is to use up as much as we can by the end of this year. Now, I mentioned every month we have a prompt. The prompt for this month was a series of different sizes, one of which was a 6x8 paper pack or pad. So what I wanted to do in this video was bring out 3 paper pads or packs by my good crafty bestie, Bitty Penny, who's Toby. I will link her channel down below. She's also participating in this collab, but she has her own line of paper on her website and you can find it at bittypenny.com. Again, I'll link that down below too. But I went ahead, this is one of the few like 6x8 collections that I have in my stash. I do have some others, I have like simple stories and stuff, but I really wanted to showcase her paper this month because of the 6x8 size. So I've got 3 different paper pads collections that I wanted to bring in. And what I did was off camera, I made a project or projects from each of the different collections. And so what I'm gonna do in this video is show you my final projects that I made from each of these pads. Now, I did just make a couple of cards from some of the different collections. In fact, I did 2 cards from this collection, which is Crafty Queen. I did 4 cards from the 4 Seasons. And then I did a little mini album, like an envelope mini album from Page Turner Volume 1. I'll show you all the supplies that I used and everything as I go along. I do want to mention that this collab is co-hosted by Debbie of Project 39 Mini Albums and Carolina of Carolina's Crafts. So make sure you check that out. I'll have a playlist that I'll link down below. You can always check out any of our videos. There are so many wonderful collab participants in the collab, so you can check out everybody's video. There's so much inspiration on that playlist, so definitely check it out. But let's go ahead and jump in. So the first paper pad that I used or pack was Crafty Queen. And this one is such a fun one. It's got just absolutely stunning images. I'm sure you've already seen a flip through, so I won't even bother showing you, but it is just colors galore. And it is literally a crafty person's like dream. So I used that paper. I used a couple sheets actually to make 2 cards. And I did bring in some Not Too Shabby enamel dots. These were from the Colors of Spring collection. Now, one of the fun things on this one was I ended up finishing out these cards for as part of like my member exclusive videos. So I had a quick little video where I just kind of finished embellishing the cards, and you'll see why in just a second. But if you are a member, a YouTube member, of either tier, make sure you check that out because I've already listed that video for you guys. So the 2 cards that I made were these. I think they were super fun. I had a ton of fun, and this is what I had shown in that member exclusive video. We layered up all of the little pieces of ephemera. There's one sheet of like little cut aparts that has these little bitty crafty ephemera bits in this paper pad, and you just have to fussy cut them. And so that's what we did. I had already made 1 card off camera, and then on camera we finished assembling the second card. Super fun, super cute. And these are just, again, the beautiful papers that come in this paper pad. So I added a little cut apart with one of the little Crafty Queens. I put here, her throne is adorned with craft supplies. I thought that was perfect because she's sort of sitting on top of all of these crafty supplies. I did pop up all of them with some foam dimensional tape, so you can see there. I thought it was just super fun. Added enamel dots from Not Too Shabby. I added some glossy accents. I also added glossy accents to the top section over here where she had jewels and flowers, holographic cardstock. I used a colored card base. This is a light pink. This is one from the Paper Studio brand by Hobby Lobby or in Hobby Lobby. So I think it turned out super fun. There were a couple of extra pieces that I had left over, so I did add them to the inside. I put a little scrap strip and then glued a couple of additional little crafty supplies. So I think that turned out super cute. I did the same thing on the second card. There was one sheet, actually the back of the little cut apart sheet had 2 different mats. So you had this one with the crafty supplies, and then you had this one with like the fun stripes, like the burst stripes. So I did the same thing. I put one of the cut aparts. You can see all the glossy accents there to make it shiny. You got holographic cardstock. That's Recollections from Michael's we added all of the fun little ephemera pieces that I popped up on foam dimensional embellishments with the enamel dots, and then also some glossy accents on the bottom too. So I used the same little saying for both. I just thought that was like a perfect complement to how I was sort of structuring the card. I think it turned out cute. And I think it was super, super fun. So again, if you're a member, make sure you check out that video. In fact, I can link it at the in the description box if you haven't already seen it. But super, super fun. So 2 cards from the Crafty Queen. And then for 4 seasons, this one's a fun one because regardless of what season you need to craft for, you've got a little bit of everything in here. You've got some winter, some spring, some summer, some like autumn, fall, and then you also have some more like festive, almost like Christmas type. So super, super, super pretty. You can see there's some of the cut aparts that I had started to cut and I didn't get to finish. But that was, again, 4 seasons. So what I did, there was one sheet that had these gorgeous girls on them. And it had four beauties there, really, really pretty girls. And so they were just so gorgeous. And so I decided I wanted to make 4 cards. Now, this little striped paper is one of the papers that come in this collection. It's one of the B-sides. One of the beauties of the way that Toby, who's Bitty Penny, designs her paper pads is that she puts sort of your cut aparts on the front side, and then she puts like the coordinating papers on the back. And so you just have to pull out a sheet and you can actually use both sides and make a really great complementing card. Now, the whole paper pad sort of goes together, and all 3 of those is like that. But you definitely can utilize just the backs and then, you know, of course, the front for the cut aparts. So I did use 3 sheets of paper because I used 2 for the backs and then 1 for all of the cut aparts to make these 4 cards. I cut them down to a mat. I added some doodle lines. I added the cut apart. I added some glossy accents. I'm a big sucker for glossy accents. I think they're so, so fun. So I added them to all the flowers and her earrings. These little flowers right here, when I was first designing this card, like when I was putting it together, I thought, wouldn't it be fun if I had sort of like a row of flowers at the bottom just to kind of anchor the image, but then also to sort of anchor that sentiment at the bottom. These sentiments are my sticker sentiments. And so I have a whole collection of sticker sentiments in my Etsy shop. That's what I used for these. They're so easy. You just peel it off, put it on. It's a vinyl sticker. So it's very durable, super, super convenient. But I went ahead and I had pulled some images from Canva. I fussy cut them on some vinyl sticker paper. So it would be super easy because once I fussy cut them, I wouldn't have to add more glue. I would just literally stick it down. And then I finished it off with some glossy accents as well. I don't know if you can see it, but super, super fun. On the insides of my cards, I added my little scrap that I had left over when I cut down my mat. And then I also added 1 extra little flower. And those were just the little fussy cut flowers. So I think these cards turned out super pretty. I love how the image is just sort of the big focal point. I think these images turned out super cute. I'm glad you get multiples in this paper pad. And this was, again, just one of the designs that was in that paper pad. So gorgeous, gorgeous, fun cards. Those are super quick and easy as well. Now, the last collection that I used is called Page Turner Volume 1, and it's basically like a book readers or book lovers collection. You've got lots of really fun like scenes and themes, and just like the colors are so bold. So she had the paper pad, and I don't know if it's still available, but at the time she had a stamp set. So we've got this one, and I don't know if there's a name on it, but it's basically the one that coordinates with this paper. Oh, first chapter. First chapter is what's here. That's clever. Super cute. So I ended up using this little tag right here. And then she also had like a coordinating embellishment kit, and I definitely used lots of things from this kit to make my mini album. I used some of the pages. I used some of the washi. I used some of these little envelopes. I used one of these little like library card things. There was extra stickers in here. I used a ton of it. So I don't know, again, I don't know if it's still available, but if it is, definitely check it out because it was super easy to coordinate by having that little pack and of course the stamp set. So I made a 4x6 mini album. Now it's a little chunky just because I really filled it up with a whole bunch of stuff. I probably could have made my spine a little bit bigger. I had only done like, I want to say it was like 1/8 of an inch. So I probably should have gone a little bit bigger, but this was one of the stickers. This is one of the like papers. Look how dark and glorious that is. It's just really, really pretty. And then I used some, by the way, I used some little envelopes to make this. These were 4x6 envelopes, I believe. So like 4¼ by 6¼ perfect for 4x6 cards. I had a bunch in my stash and I thought it would be perfect for this size paper. So I just cut it all down and used it for this little envelope album. So here's one of those little seed packet envelope things. And I did add some little cut aparts inside just to kind of make it fun. Look at these really gorgeous images. So I added that in there. That was super fun. And then I have the library card here. So I added that in the pocket too. So that's what I added it right here in the front pocket. And so what you'll see is I tried to add a pocket, and this is the same book paper that came in that ephemera kit or that embellishment kit. Here's the stamped, and I also put it on right here on the little seed packet or whatever, the little envelope. But I stamped it out on some sticker paper, put it there. Here's one of the stickers that came with it. Here's another sticker that came with it, a couple of the cut aparts, and I have some of the paper, and then another little sticker that came with it. So you've got a pocket here, and then you've got a flat surface that you can keep layering on top. And then you turn the page, and we've got another little pocket, and I put a couple more cut aparts in this one. And super fun. And then I've got another little tag here from the stamp set, a sticker, another pocket with the actual book pages. I put this gorgeous picture here. This was also from the paper pad. And then she had included this little sticker, so I went ahead and added that there. And then as we turn, I think this is one of my favorites. So we've got a full page image on this side, which this is gorgeous, absolutely stunning. I added a fun little like sentiment right here that came with the kit, the little sticker. I thought that was perfect, especially for all the stars and stuff. Now, here's what's fun. So I remember I mentioned I used the washi. So what I did was I cut up 4 of these little cut aparts, and these came in the actual paper pack. And what I did was I put washi at the top, and I basically made it like a waterfall flip. So I put some of the like book paper that had, like at the end of a chapter where it's just blank. I cut that down from the little kit, and I added it to the backs of all of these little cut aparts. And so you've got places to journal or to add photos or whatever. And again, I just glued them in with washi so they can be removed very easily. I thought that was super fun, and I thought that was just a fun way to kind of showcase these really fun, gorgeous images. Okay. And then on the last little set, I have another image. I've got another sentiment that was also a sticker. And then again, I put another set of some little cut aparts inside this little like seed packet envelope. We've got some in here. Look how gorgeous these are. They're so fun. And then I also did put a couple more of the really cute cut aparts. So, and I put those in back here as well in the pocket. And then we have, of course, a little pocket here with some of the book page and a little tag right here. So you can kind of write what's inside or what's going to be in that pocket. So, and then I kind of ended it at the very end with the back. So that was my little 4x6 envelope album that I made using page turner. And of course the cards that I made using the other 2 kits. So we had Crafty Queen, we have 4 Seasons. You can see it there. And then we have Page Turner Volume 1. So those were the few items that I made. I did not want to smash, even though that's kind of the goal of this collab. I did not want to smash all of these paper packs and pads because, one, they're very rare. They're very precious to me, but also I definitely want to keep them in my stash for quite some time. And so you're going to see that I actually focused a little bit more on 6x6 this month. I have a few more videos coming out this month, crafty ones, so you'll be able to see that. But I hope you enjoyed this either way. Just a little bit of inspiration, some different cards, a little different techniques, a little album. Super quick and easy. This thing comes together very fast. I've got some tutorials on my channel. I'll see if I can link one at the very end of this video if you want to see how to put something like this together. Super easy. So again, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this and got a ton of inspiration. I hope you are smashing your pads the way that we are this month. Thanks so much. And as always, happy crafting.
Thanks so much for visiting, everyone. Drop me your favorite heart emoji down in the comments to let me know that you made it this far in the video. Happy crafting.